Welcome to another InWheelTime podcast.
Put your other earpiece
Put
in.
your earpiece in and you'll be able to
Put
hear
your
the show.
earpiece in, Grandpa, and you'll be able to hear the whole thing.
I can't hear the show.
Well, typically you would have a mono voice, stereo music, but mono
We've
voice.
moved up in the world.
No, that's going backwards. That's
We've
back
got
in the
two of
early
these.
days of quadraphonic sound. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
This is your place for all things automotive and other things. The award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Coming up, our Story of the Week, Part 2.
Part two.
Later, Mars has This Week in Auto History, and Jeffrey has the racing calendar, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. And engineer David Ainsley. Let's not forget, never forget David Ainsley.
Very important.
Very much so. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. And so I had a couple of stories. I've done one, but this is the more expanded one, the story of the week. And I don't know why you be the judge of why I selected it. You'll see. European automakers are reworking interior designs after Euro NCAP updated its assessment protocols in January to discourage touchscreen-only controls for essential driving tasks.
Wow.
The move extends a safety debate that intensified as touchscreen-dependent dashboards became standard across the industry. Sound familiar? We just had a review.
We did.
So starting this year, physical controls will be required for turn signals, wipers, hazard lights, horn, and SOS calls to earn 5 stars from Euro NCAP, which evaluates the safety of new vehicles through standardized crash tests and safety feature assessments. Automakers that stick solely to touchscreens for these functions will have points deducted from their Euro NCAP safety evaluation. Euro NCAP is a voluntary safety rating program, so its requirements are not mandated by European law. They're just saying, hey, if you want to get high ratings, let's have some knobs and buttons back and not all computer-based touchscreen stuff.
Or move your eyeballs.
And all I can do is go back to, a couple of things. Tesla and Tesla's
Cyber
rocket.
Yeah,
the rocket,
yeah.
that goes into outer space, and here the guy's sitting there in front of a big touch screen. And if they want anything, they just touch on the touch screen.
Yeah.
In a car, it's a little bit different because in a spacecraft, you really don't have to watch the road too much.
Right.
Since
You don't.
there isn't
Yeah,
one,
you kind of.
Well, depending on who's driving.
I guess.
But Jeff Heitzman would be able to tell you that.
Well,
Katie
yes.
would be able to tell you that too.
Yes. So, in China, similar requirements could become law. Bloomberg reported February 13th that proposed regulations from China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology say that turn signals, hazard lights, gear selection, and emergency calling must have fixed buttons or switches with a minimum surface size of 0.4 inches by 0.4 inches. So that's a pretty...
It's almost a half inch.
Yeah, it is, for the button. The moves in Europe and China are a challenge to automakers seeking minimalist interiors, such as Tesla, BYD, and Xiaomi, amid safety concerns about driver distraction and screen failures, which is what I've been saying all along. Hey, it's great. Oh, look at how clean the dashboard is. Now I want to find Sirius XM channel 75. Okay, now I've got to go here. I got to go drill down through all these menus.
Yep.
No.
Couple of screens and everything. Yeah.
Well, I think there's two things you're saying, because you said you drive a car to the car every week, so it's a different setup. Once you own the car, you just put it in save.
Yes.
But even
and that's a good point to make.
I understand, but I haven't driven a car, particularly these brands that you're referring to, that has the horn inside it, that I've got to go to the touch screen to honk the horn, or turn the wipers on, or turn the signals.
You haven't driven a Tesla.
No, I haven't. And that's what I'm saying. I haven't, but I cannot imagine. Okay, I'm going down the road. Hey, you and I'm trying to find the horn, and I'm hollering,
And your wipers go on, and your turn signal goes on.
Exactly. Radio goes up in volume.
But to bring it home, And in reality, the bottom line is there are certain functions, like for instance, yes, on the steering wheel, there's a thing for the volume control. Okay, so I find it with my thumb. I'm still driving. I'm still looking ahead, going down the road.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
you
can
can do
find that on my thumb, and I can turn it up or turn it down, whatever the case may be. And over
Okay.
here on the right-hand side, I can change the channels. I got that. But let's say, for instance, that I want to change the treble, or I want to,
The balance.
whatever the
Whatever it
case
is,
may
yeah.
be. I want it so I don't have to take my eyes off the road to do whatever. If I want the temperature to go up or the temperature to go down, I don't want to have to look at it. I know that on that knob, I can turn it up and it makes the temperature warmer, or turn it back down to the left and it's cooler. Whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to Jeff's point, if it's your car and you've driven it for a while, I mean, even after a week, you get some of it, but you get the muscle memory where I can reach over there and I can
Yes.
feel that fan knob and I can turn it up or down without really looking at it.
Does it say anything about hands-free driving in that?
Let's
Pursue it?
continue on.
All right.
Let's go to
The
the next
thinking is
paragraph.
that the risk of crashes increases as drivers hunt through touchscreen menus to access
There you
basic
go.
functions. The EU's voluntary guidelines are not working because current touchscreens and infotainment systems are distracting and unsafe. Frank Mutz, vehicle safety expert at European Transport Safety Council, said in a statement. Euro NCAP requiring physical controls for some functions, such as welcome step in the right direction, but we now need EU regulators to follow up and adopt legally binding requirements for all vehicles. Now, we always change with what, if Europe does something that we like, then we're going to steal it from them, and vice versa, right?
Sure.
For automakers, the new protocols mean a major move away from touchscreen dependent dashboards. Volkswagen brand's response could be seen in its new full electric ID Polo, which includes physical controls for key functions such as climate control and hazard lights. In addition, the driver can adjust audio volume and skip tracks with rotary control knobs. VW's rethink of its new generation interior comes after the brand's design chief, Andreas Mindt, M-I-N-D-T, admitted to the ETSC XYZ that the shift to touchscreens for vital controls was a mistake. He said it. He designed it. He said it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz acknowledges that physical buttons are better for certain functions. The new generation GLC and CLA models are equipped with a steering wheel that replaces haptic swipe surfaces. And I hated that thing. That little black button that you
Yes.
swipe with your
Tunnel, yeah,
thumb,
roll it, yeah.
with physical rocker switches, rotary rollers, and hard buttons. Hyundai opting for a hybrid approach, keeping physical knobs and buttons for frequently used functions such as volume control in a bid to reduce driver stress. Tesla, which clusters nearly all controls on a touchscreen, plans to reintroduce physical turn signal stalks in some models, according to media reports, at least those that they're going to continue to build because they just cut out 2 more vehicles. BMW, meanwhile, started removing its physical rotary iDrive knob from cars in 2021. Its new class generation of vehicles, starting with the iX3, debut BMW's panoramic iDrive system, which has a full-width, pillar-to-pillar display and haptic touch controls on the steering wheel. BMW said key functions such as an emergency call function and the hazard lights will continue to be controlled by buttons. Automakers in Europe have a 3-year window to redesign interiors to qualify for Euro NCAP's top safety score.
Wow.
Can you imagine if they take, people don't use their turn signals now, and all they got to do is push a lever. And now you go and tell them, now you got to drill into this touch screen, 2 screens down.
That ain't going to happen, brother.
No.
Hey, I'm driving a car that's got a 30+ inch glass screen. You know that. I've got toggles for my air conditioning, up and down fan and all that stuff, for heat. For the seats, they're toggles. I've got a dial for my volume, for the radio, a push button on and off, and dial of that. It is going to be Car of the Year this year, I hope. But it is a Buick.
Made in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but I would imagine that it was designed here in the United States
Oh, yeah.
By a very smart individual.
from Detroit.
Yeah.
Probably.
But like you say, it gets very irritating, like with all the little buttons. The car that I was driving last week, it had two of those on the steering wheel, and I had to figure out which one of them did what and how to maneuver it. It was like maneuvering the little button on the old laptops. You used to have the little button right in the middle of the keyboard.
Yeah.
Drive you insane.
Absolutely.
Well, you didn't talk
It's a
about
short drive, but still.
the hands-free steering. They introduced that at the Automotive Show. People were talking about that. Now, why would you put all of those functions, like you said, on the steering wheel to let go of it?
You've been a salesman. Mm-hmm. You've driven millions of miles selling your wares with your suitcase and all that stuff. And for that guy that drives on the highway between cities all across the United States, it's great. You press the button. If it sees something that it's not right, it turns it off. It has a beep, 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 or buzzes your butt, whatever the case may be.
You got to write on the...
Yeah. And if something is awry, it will actually slow down, take its foot off the listen, they got it down pretty pat.
My cruise control does that. If you're
The
catching up to a car in front of you,
adaptive cruise control, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
But the drilling down into menus when you're doing 70 miles an hour down the South Sam Houston Tollway, that does not work.
Oh, you drive in the slow lane.
Yeah. You get it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think I'm going to admit it because you know who listens to this show.
Well,
that'd be Sergeant Woodard.
Yeah.
Yeah, DPS.
I drive the speed limit, Sergeant.
He does not. Well, actually, he does. He drives below the speed limit, which drives everybody insane.
that traffic backup. That's
Kathy.
Jeff up
There's
there in
Jeff.
the front.
Who is that moron doing 50 in a 70?
Hello.
It's Jeff. Hello.
Because it says do that speed limit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, you go by your rules and I'll go by mine. But the screen
There
meet you in the middle.
There the two shall ever meet.
I do. Listen, I could find something wrong with every single car
Oh,
made
yeah.
that doesn't work for me, Don Armstrong.
Yeah.
But it may work for you
Sure.
or anybody else. They don't build. If they built a car just for you, the car would be so outrageously priced you wouldn't be able to afford it because it would be you. But they can build a HVAC system with controls this way for everybody, and everybody understands.
Yes.
For the most part, there are some systems and cars that are not cheap, somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000. I'm going, why? Why would you do that? Who said, oh, that's the way we're going to go? I want to know who that person is because I want to say, this is wrong. This is not, nobody that I know of. And I ask you, I asked Leslie, anybody, how do you feel about Katie? Katie, what do you think about the way that you drill down the menus to get to a certain radio station? She goes, well, that's stupid. Now, this is a girl that launches satellites into orbit. Mm-hmm. It's stupid. Who does this? Not real people.
Users don't, but I have a theory that I've developed over years of nonsense in that engineers engineer. They have to have something to engineer. Doesn't have to make any difference. If it's working fine, let me re-engineer that because I got to engineer something.
Sounds like you. You're speaking about your
years and years of nonsense.
This
to
Car
develop
Talk
this
show
theory.
operated flawlessly for years and years and years. And then we move into a new facility. Mars says,
I'll fix it.
I'm going to do something different so I don't have to come over here and do this every week and drive, 1 million miles a year. Okay. We are still trying to figure out stuff.
We're still fixing it.
We're going to call Katie.
Call Katie. Because you know what she'd say? That's stupid.
Thank you, Katie. We love you.
Yeah, we do. Thank you very much for being you. And don't go change it. Okay, just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History. And I'll bring you this week's automotive news headlines when the InWheelTime Car Talk Show continues right after this.
The Tailpipes and Tacos renowned cruise-in expands to Beaumont. Golden Triangle cruisers will want to experience Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla, I-10 South in Beaumont near Washington Boulevard. Grab free Loopy breakfast tacos with any donation to Shirley's Kids. Enjoy a coffee or an adult beverage. Every cruise-in vehicle is automatically entered to win one of the beautiful chili pepper trophies for Best Hot Rod, Classic, and Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos Beaumont happens Saturday morning, March 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. If you're a car geek like we are, this is the event you'll want to attend. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show will be online live, and you may be interviewed about your ride. Tailpipes and Tacos Beaumont edition Saturday, March 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla, 2050 I-10 South in Beaumont. The Katy Tailpipes and Tacos happens Easter Saturday, April 4th, 8 to 11. The free Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In is a production of Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex, Beaumont, and Katy. Tastes pretty good. Apple or Android, InWheelTime podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give InWheelTime a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on InWheelTime. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists.
You to join us for our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central on InWheelTime.com, Facebook, and YouTube. We hope you'll check us out. If you miss us, you'll be able to connect through a podcast from your favorite podcast channel anytime, 24/7. All right, time now for the racing calendar, Jeffrey, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you for that. Okay, we've got NASCAR going on today. There's the Craftsman Truck Series at Eco Park in Atlanta. That goes on at 1:30 this afternoon, and it's on FS1, which is coming up pretty quick. And then you've got tonight, Saturday night, you've got the 5 p.m. O'Reilly, which used to be the Xfinity Series. That's on the CW. And then, of course, you've got Atlanta tomorrow.
On the CW?
It's on the CW. So you've got Atlanta tomorrow, Fox channel at 3 p.m. You got NHRA coming up. That's going to be Gator Nationals. It's March 5th through 8th. It's coming up pretty quick. It's going to be next week. IndyCar Series.
No, it's not. March 5th through the 8th is not next week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
How many?
2 weeks.
Two weeks.
It'll be done in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
IndyCar Series coming up. That's St. Petersburg, March 1st. That's coming up very soon. You've got the Formula One schedule is out there doing some testing, and they're doing some complaining. Somebody got hit with a purse or something. I don't know. And is there anything, Michael?
Isn't there a race this weekend? In NHRA doing something?
Yeah, the purse race.
Yeah. Let's take a look. It is, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Chase made a comment whenever I was talking to him that he was with Stan and they were at the races, and I just assumed that.
Oh no, that was they're over in Louisiana.
Oh, at the horse races.
No.
Can you do some testing or something?
What's it called? Beaumont Rose or some? I don't know. It's a racetrack over there. I've been there.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. But there's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a quarter-mile drag strip.
The quarter tracks, half-mile tracks, dirt tracks, they're all coming to life.
Yep. You know, we need to have Rodney on.
Yeah,
Talk
I was
to him
thinking about that
what's
too.
coming up.
Yep.
Got a note out to him. He's been pretty busy with O'Reilly and the things he's got going on there.
That's good. Well, he can take some time for us because
Well,
he wouldn't be where he
just-
wouldn't be where he is today if it weren't for us. Damn it.
Well, he's still holding that against us.
Yeah, there is that. There was that restroom incident. Anyway, time now for This Week in Auto History, Mr. Mars.
Yes, sir. Got a few things here that we thought was pretty interesting. And the first thing up is in 1923. Now, this is interesting because this is when Dodge Brothers the company was incorporated. Now, the founders, John and Horace Dodge, both died because of the flu epidemic that was going on. And that was
damn near died when we got the flu this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, particularly back then. So it actually got incorporated in 1923. And I thought this was really interesting whenever because I got to go to the Dodge house one time up there in Detroit, and it had all of the stuff that was the house was there. We got to tour part of it. They brought a bunch of the cars out of the museum and put them out there in the parking lot. And we got a little bit of history about the Dodge Brothers, and it was so much involved in all that earliness that was going on whenever the automotive industry was starting up.
Earliness.
The earliness.
Yeah. In the early 1900s. That's the word I was looking for. Then in 1928, Volvo introduces the V4 to the wider markets. Now, this was important because this is their first big vehicle that really developed their reputation for safety and solid engineering. They made 10 of them to kind of push them around the world, let everybody see them. And there's one left. And the one we've got pictured here is the one that's left in the museum. And they've got a replica of the body framework that they made out of wood at the time, and that's what they would actually cover it up. Then in 1934, the Citroën Traction Avant was rolled out in France.
Citroën,
yeah.
And it was actually, this is the first mass-produced front-wheel drive car. It had the unitized body construction and independent front suspension. Now, all these advanced
What year was that?
1934.
That's actually really ahead of its time.
It was very much. And with the low stance of it, it really had some nice handling and stuff that went on with it. Now, in 1954, first production of the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. Now, this is the famous gull wing doors that have been mimicked forever and ever. And even now, hot rodders will take and put these Lambo-type doors that kind of fold up, not like the gull wings, but it's a very popular, and there's very collectible cars.
And very expensive.
Yes. In 1962, now this I brought this one up, John Deere enters the consumer
That's Don's
market.
car.
Now, they've all been building tractors and stuff and a lot of stuff, but they got in the consumer lawn and garden segment. Now, I thought this would be a little interesting because even though it's the tractors, this particular vehicle that we've got pictured here, this is actually a horse-drawn manure fertilized spreader.
Yeah,
and I thought that would be kind of appropriate.
Well, that would be appropriate for this show.
Exactly. Then
Sponsored by InWheelTime.
in 1985,
Manure spreader.
the Acura Legend was introduced, and this was part of the new luxury models brand from Acura that was spun off. And so it came with a lot of the European premium seats, and the styling's not what it is now by any means, but the first one that came out.
That was at the time. That was the latest, greatest.
It was.
That's a cat's meow
151 horsepower, 2.5 liter V6 was the sedan. That was the original one. Then about a year later, they came out with a coupe that had 161 horsepower. Ooh. Then in 2008, the big one hit, the Dodge Challenger SRT 8.
Yes, absolutely.
So, this was the retro-inspired Challenger that was coming out from the SRT group of the SRT 8. And what I did not know, that the first cars all came with 6.1 liter Hemis. Now, the first ones, the first 6400 were all built in Canada. They were all pre-sold before they ever got the first one out the door. And they came with a 370 cubic inch 5-speed automatic. Now, they also built 100 down in Mexico that had the 6.1 liter with the 425 horsepower motor. Those two were all sold, and they all sold for the same price of $40,095 list.
Wow.
And that is some of the things we found in This Week in Automotive History.
Okay. I've got kind of a longish story about EVs here.
Okay.
I've got to do it.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shocking for a lot of people. Yeah. Automakers are unwinding their electric vehicle bets at a cost approaching $50 billion, that's with a B, a stark measure of how much the industry misjudged what buyers would embrace and how fast. Write-downs of investments in EV factory capacity, vehicle programs, and battery manufacturing have stained the balance sheets of General Motors, Ford, Stellantis, and Honda in recent months. The charges range from an expected $1.9 billion by the end of March for Honda to roughly $26 billion for Stellantis, which didn't specify how much of what it called a reset of its business was EV-related. The massive price tag is a product of how aggressively automakers focused their capital investments on EVs, said Itay Michaeli. Itay, I-T-A-Y. Hey, Itay. An equity auto analyst at TD Cowen. Yet the charges don't necessarily reflect a complete about-face, blah, 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 whatever. The charges follow years of dialing up EV development to keep up with increasingly stringent zero-emission regulations in the U.S. and Europe. Automakers also had to respond to competitive pressures from Tesla and startup EV manufacturers that anybody say, okay, we're going to make these EVs. How are we going to get the people to charge them? Oh, there's that.
Well, and we talked about that for years, that they were not making those cars because buyers wanted to buy them.
Mainstream U.S. buyers have proved reluctant to switch from combustion vehicles, citing higher purchase prices, concerns about battery range, and charging speeds. President Trump also moved quickly in his second term to relax federal regulations, ending penalties for non-compliance with fuel economy standards and scuttling the $7,500 federal tax credit. The result, EV sales slowing, automakers reassessing how much production capacity they need, converting some factory space back to combustion vehicles, and canceling entire programs. U.S. buyers registered 1.3 million EVs in 2025 for a 7.8% share of the new light vehicle market, down slightly from 8% in 2024, according to S&P Global Mobility. Okay? So it's ugly, and automakers are really paying the price for jumping the gun on the EV stuff. Look, not that I'm anti-EV, but you know what? Go a little bit slower. Why go all in with something that you know nothing about as far as uptake?
Well, but they were pushed into it. That's the problem, because automakers can figure out, well, this isn't selling, so I'm going to quit making it. But if they're forced to make it no matter what, then any market, whether it's automaker or whoever, got that problem.
The InWheelTime Car Talk Show. We'll wrap things up right after this.
The Easter Bunny's coming. To the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, April 4th, 8 to 11 a.m. And you're invited too. Bring the kids and grandkids. It's a cruise in like you've never attended before. With a donation to Shirley's Kids, you'll get a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. There'll be coffee and adult beverages, plus chili pepper trophies for the best hot rod, best modern classic, and best classic. There's no entry fee and no registration. Just bring your ride and the kids. Bad bunnies aren't allowed, but the Easter Bunny will be there, and he'll be full of joy to help make this Tailpipes and Tacos a very special one. Photo opportunities abound. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show will be streaming around the globe, and you could be selected to tell your car story to a global audience. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In Easter Edition, Saturday, April 4th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, located on 99 the Grand Parkway, just south of I-10, the Katy Freeway in Katy. Make plans now. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good.
Houston, get ready. Team Gilman is hosting a mega car meet at the North Complex. Acura, Mazda, Subaru. We're collaborating with the Car Meet Network, so you know it's going to be crazy.
And that's not all. We're going to be raffling off 6 cars to be sold at $1,000 each. See below for more details.
You're not going to want to miss this, Houston. March 14th. We can't wait to see you here.
All right.
Well, guess what? That's it for this week's InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and great automotive things to bring to our global audience. If you have an idea, event, road trip, tall tale you'd like us to let us know. We like tall tales. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the InWheelTime Car Talk Show 24/7 on the InWheelTime app and website. Grab a podcast from your favorite podcast store. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The InWheelTime video coordinator is we always need more Jeff Zekin. The booking agent, video editor, Mike Out of This World, Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks to our weekly show contributors, Jeff Heitzman and George Skelton. Have a great week, a safe one too. So long for now.
That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.